It is time to crown our champions. After 11 rounds and 7 different race winners, it all comes down to this. Let's go racing in Abu Dhabi.
Well, here we are. We're ready and set for the final race of the F1 Esports World Cup. The championship has come down to today, Abu Dhabi. And oh my goodness, we have a battle on our hands. 3 drivers could win the championship today in the next couple of moments. But alongside me, let's speak to the man of one of the drivers that could win, Ismail Fassi. Ben Hawkins is, of course, the team principal at Williams. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing, Ben?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, Claire. How are you?
Yeah, really good. I'm so excited. I couldn't be more excited. It's been a day full of drama, hasn't it, today? And the last few days, we've seen quite a lot of drama throughout all the drivers. How is Team Williams at the moment? Yeah,
that's one way of putting it, Claire. Yeah, we're good. We haven't been rocked. Comments were made before this race, and I don't want to draw any more traction to it or add fuel to the fire, but I understand that emotions are high, and understandably, it's been an incredible season, incredibly competitive, and I think there's an intense pressure on individuals, but I do want to clear the air and just say from our stance as a team that we're fully focused on maximising the performance of all of our drivers and doing what we can to try and win the right way, and we're feeling good.
So this is the thing. Ismail Fassi could indeed win the championship today. He's a bit of an outside contender at this point, but mathematically still in it. How impressive has he been?
Yeah, 100%. And as I said to you in previous events, we've taken it race by race. We haven't had any targets, and we still don't now. It's just about maximising performance. But Ismail, his pace, his consistency and performances have been outstanding, and he should be incredibly proud, as should the whole team.
We're just seeing him now, and it's ultimate concentration before the race gets underway. Are the nerves going to be kicking in at this point, or is he starting to really settle in at Williams now and understand what's expected from him?
Obviously, it's hard to comment. There's intense pressure externally, but we've done everything we can internally to ensure that this is just another race. And Ismail, even despite being young and inexperienced in comparison to others, is an absolute professional, and it will be the same in his mind, just another race.
How exciting has it been to see Williams up here fighting for a championship with such an impressive young driver alongside you, and also not to forget the other 2 drivers as well. They've all played their part, haven't they? It's just Ismail's been maybe a bit of the standout in terms of that.
I think it's exciting for everyone else. I think everyone always enjoys it when an underdog comes through. I think we're starting to feel a bit more now that that novelty wears off a little bit when people realise that you're actually here to stay and you're trying to compete at the very top. But I think the excitement's more external than internal. Like I said, we're keeping our feet grounded, and it's race by race. We're just happy to see that what's now been 2 years of hard work is paying off, and Ismail's just happens to be kind of the poster boy at the front of that, but it's everyone involved in the team.
And now, I suppose, once today is over, we'll start looking towards next season, which seems crazy. Do you think you've built enough foundations this year, if you don't wrap it up in an hour's time, that actually the future is with Williams?
100%. And as weird as it sounds, we've been talking about next year today more than anything. We haven't been speaking about it today at all. We've made huge strides forward in our plan, and it is exactly that. It's a plan. And next year, people can expect to see even more performance from Williams.
More performance. That's fighting talk. I love to hear it. Right. Well, I think it's about time to get ready to go racing. Let's head back over to Ariana.
Thank you very much, Claire. Right, this is it. Alex Jakes and Matt Gallagher, we are here for the final race. We have champions to be crowned. Oh gosh, this is going to be good, isn't it?
It's going to be exciting. It's time for the rubber to hit the road for a title decider. It doesn't get better than that. We've got 2 outsiders. We've got one guy who had one hand on the trophy, but crucially not 2. And he is going to find himself with a big uphill task, starting out of the points. Matt said it brilliantly earlier on. If it finishes how we start this one,
Yeah.
Ronhaar's the world champion.
Yes, of course, Jarno Opmeer starting P14 after a rough qualifying session. Meanwhile, Thomas Ronhaar getting pole position. And we've got here the championship scenarios. So if Jarno Opmeer finishes 1st to 7th or 8th with fastest lap.
Sorry, you started reading a graphic.
Sorry, I know, but I
I'm
still...
so confused.
I'm really proud. That's the first graphic.
That's amazing, mate.
Oh,
you said.
take it over.
Yes,
Go on.
1st to 7th without fastest lap, or 8th with, and Opmeer wins. 8th win and pole secured. So of course Ronhaar, if he does indeed win the race with Opmeer without fastest lap and 8th, Ronhaar will be champion. And then 9th or below, and Ronhaar wins, then he is also champion. So Ronhaar has to win. You can see that. If he
Yes.
doesn't, it's over.
Yes.
Done and dusted. Of course, Fassi has a chance as well if he wins, but it's even more of an outside chance. And if that starts to unfold, we will paint the picture for that as well.
We
Of course,
have
Ronhaar is the closest one.
Wait.
Oh,
we
can
have
we
a graphic.
We go again.
Take us through it.
Guys,
Take us through it,
you've
Ariana.
got to earn your fee here. So we have another graphic
Never done that.
which shows you what Fassi must do. So take us through this one. I won't even bother starting it.
So if Oppers is out front in the top 9, he's having a party. If Fassi's got to win it and basically hope that Opmeer continues to have trouble like he did in quali, and you can see those scenarios there. Essentially, Opmeer just needs to get himself into that top 8, and he doesn't have to hear about any of the scenarios, and he's world champion.
And as we've already said, in race trim, Jarno is particularly strong. So it is quite the work that Ronhaar and Fassi would have to do to secure this championship, but anything can happen in F1 sim racing. Let's have a look at how qualifying unfolded and how we got into this situation where the championship is still so very much alive.
Jarno Opmeer needs a lap time. Currently down in P17.
Oh my God.
He gets up to 15th. He's escaped. Jarno Opmeer currently staring at the exit. Down in 13th as Ronhaar, his championship rival, goes to the front of the field. We have 1 corner to go.
He's down! He's down!
Jarno Opmeer's off the road. Jarno Opmeer's out. He's out.
It was amazing to start on pole in this position, obviously in the championship, is very good. Jarno starting all the way down in 14th is obviously very nice to have that buffer. Yeah, it's going to be chaos in the race, just like last year.
Freddie Rasmussen on board with the Red Bull man. He goes to the top of the timing page. Will we see a response? Thomas Ronhaar, he comes over the line and he's taken pole position.
This track has always been a very good one for mine. I've been very confident on that track, very flowing, always suited my driving style. But yeah, very happy to take pole, get the extra point, and yeah, looking forward.
What a race that qualifying session set us up for. And Marcel now joins us on the desk. Lovely to see you as always. We have such an exciting race coming up. We've already spoken about some of the permutations for how each driver takes the win in terms of the championship. What do you make of the race that's about to unfold?
I think the driver with the teammate that slows down the rest the most will win the championship. Sorry.
My word.
Sorry.
Think of the stewards' families.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marcel.
Please.
They've got
Yes.
homes to go to.
Yes. Tomorrow. Sorry.
Well, we're of course hoping that this isn't settled in the stewards' room, but
No.
there have been a lot of complaints and penalties and everything like that, but we're not going to put that in the air. Let's talk a little bit about the track, shall we? Let's have a look at how the form has been in previous years. Matt.
Yes.
Look at this, second place Thomas Ronhaar for the last 2 years, pole position last year. He is clearly confident around this track and goes well here.
yeah, it's no doubting that he's fast around here, but the thing that sticks out to me is despite it being one of his favourite circuits, if not his favourite, he's not won round here yet.
Yeah.
Butcher had an amazing victory last year. Freddie Rasmussen beating him out the year before. Rasmussen, of course, right next to Ron Ha on the grid, and I'm sure Freddie has been told by Red Bull, do not let Ron Ha win, you have to beat him, and there's going to be a lot of tactics out there, and I can't wait for this one. Ron Ha will need to be on that left-hand side for this year if he wants to become champion.
He will indeed. Let's also have a look now at some of the track info. Jakesy, talk us through this track, some of the characteristics that we'll be looking out for.
5.2 kilometers, 29 laps coming our way. There's some really tricky corners, but there's some good overtaking opportunities around here as well. You've got the 2 DRS zones. You get out of turn 9, it's done. You're having to wait all the time, maybe for a dive bomb move into turn 5. Not an illegal dive bomb move, but you know what I mean.
A clean one.
A clean one, that's what we're looking for. Thank you, Matt. Turn 6, the favoured place, but of course you can get the switchback moves out of 7 and around to 9. You want to be on the inside for turn 9, and it's the sort of move that you want to be slam dunk. You do not want a moment of brinkmanship there, because it could be incredibly dramatic. It's a great place to have a title decider.
It is. And we can dig even deeper into this track with a head-to-head between Brendon and Butcher. Let's have a look at this, shall we?
So on Abu Dhabi, it's obviously, I did my first race last season there, and obviously I got my first victory. So obviously quite a strong track for myself. It's always tends to be near the end of the calendar. So yeah, it's a nice one to have near the end where I know I'm strong at.
Butcher follows on through, and now Ron Ha is made to move to 3rd place. Doesn't want to stay there. He's going to try and hang around the outside of Alfie Butcher as they blast down the next straight.
To beat Alfie Butcher in Abu Dhabi, you have to focus on race starts, strategy and race pace. So a lot of things.
I'm not too sure what Danny's driving styles are like. Obviously, I'm more focused on improving my own.
Butcher snaps it off. Ron Ha's forced to the outside. Butcher goes for 2nd. In fact, he goes for the lead.
Last year, for an example, in Abu Dhabi, we started from very similar positions, did nearly identical strategies, but he still won the race. I finished 3rd. It was a very risky race, and he made some bold moves and actually kept the field for the very last lap. And I was just stuck at big battles for podium positions.
Daniel Brendon, who's going to get on top?
Well, Alfie Butcher, without any shadow of a doubt, an experienced drive, a superb drive for someone so young. He is the current Challengers champion. He's going to venture around the final corner. Alfie Butcher takes his 2nd win.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to carry the momentum from last season into this one and maybe make it back-to-back wins there.
I want to start ahead of him in the qualifying session, and that makes life easier.
Lovely stuff there. Marcel, we are going to pick your brains a little bit now on tyres and strategy. We know that you like to do your predicted pit stop strategy.
I love it. Especially when I can't talk to anyone and Matt roasts me for it mid-race. That is the best part of it.
Roast is savage.
So we have the C5, C4 and C3 tyre available. The drivers can pick if they want to, unless then the game decides. And we will have a look also at the strategies in a second. Let's have a look. There it is.
Yes.
And seeing the race from last year, I think I will be wrong. I mean, last year they did soft medium. Yesterday we saw also soft medium. Let's see.
So you don't support your own predictions?
I do. The quickest you folded.
No.
Strategy.
I was looking around the arena to see what everyone was going for, by the way. That's what was going on.
I want to prepare just for the moment that I can't reply to Matt. So probably most likely they're going for a medium hard, early pit stop just to cover off the undercut, or they go hard medium, go long, or they do a Jarno Opmer and take the medium until the end of the race and pit 1 lap before the end.
All things are possible.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. I'm not going to put you two on the spot, but I am going to put you on the spot. Who do you think is taking this championship?
I still think it's going to be Jarno.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's going to turn it around. Or, I mean, the chance that actually Freddie beats Ron, he hasn't won here yet, so the stats are against him just for quali. It's in his favor. I think Jarno might do it.
Well, it's time to find out. Thank you guys very much for leading us up to that. I'm going to hand over to you for one last time to commentate this fantastic race that we have on our hands. Enjoy, everyone. We'll be crowning a champion on the other side.
Thank you, Ariana. Hello everyone, it is time for the final race of the season. Everything has led to Abu Dhabi, the floodlights are on, and the stakes are high. Matt Gallagher, it all comes down to this.
Was it ever in doubt to have a title decider at Abu Dhabi once again in this F1 Sim Racing World Championship? I think not. This season has been brilliant to watch. We've had 7 different race winners. We've had plenty of different podium sitters. We've had changes of lead at the top. It is Jarno Opmeer that has the advantage, a big advantage, Alex Jakes. But where is he starting?
Thomas Gau is 20th on the grid. We say goodbye to Brendon Leigh. His final start is from P19. Lucas Blakely goes from 18th. Shanaka Clay is in 17th position in the Haas. Then it's Tom Manley. He's next to Josh Edu, a former pole sitter around this circuit. Next, Jarno Opmeer, points leader by 21 going into this, only 14th on the grid, and with a huge amount of work to do, he's next to Joni Tormala, who's in P13. Next, Danny Beresne is next to Jake Benham, all Mercedes row, not where they wanted to be. They're 12th and 11th. Fab Donoso made Q3, he's 10th, he's next to Alvaro Caraton in the second Williams in the field. Then it's Ulaz Ozeldarim with a fine lap for 8th. Ismail Fassi is still mathematically in contention. He goes from 7th in the order. Barry Burramund is our race winner yesterday in Qatar. In Abu Dhabi, he goes from 6th. He's next to Alfie Butcher, who's in P5. Nicholas Longuet is 4th, and Otis Lawrence, one of our 7 different winners this year, goes from P3, our front row for the final race of the year. Freddie Rasmussen looking to win and seal the title for his teammate. Thomas Ronhaar looking to overturn an enormous points deficit and claim his maiden crown in sim racing.
But it's possible, Alex. As we said at the top of the show, stays like this, Ronhaar is champion, but there are plenty of twists and turns between now and the end of this championship. There's Brendon Leigh. What's he going to do in his final race? He'll want to get involved. He'll want to get stuck in. There's Jarno Opmeer. Just needs to keep his nose clean. No end plates lost, no damage picked up. Needs to keep his nose absolutely out of danger in these opening laps as the drivers are getting ready, and we are just waiting for the final few to enter onto the grid, Alex, to get this final race underway.
They are starting to choose between the medium and the hard tyres. The decision would have been made earlier. You have to input it on the rig. They're doing so. Stirring moments in the studio. It all leads to this outcome, these 5 red lights that will illuminate soon. 3 contenders for the title, Fassi and then Ronhaar. Opmeer with a 21-point lead. If he finishes in the top 8, he has done it, he has won it, and he is our first ever 3-time sim racing world champion. But he has to make passes, and that's easier said than done in an incredibly talented field. Here come the lights for the final race of the year. It is time to crown a champion. We're underway and racing to turn number 1. Ronhaar's got a good start, but Freddie Rasmussen's got a better one, and he takes the lead on the medium tyre. That would have given him a better launch off the line. Medium Red Bull gets ahead of hard kick Sauber, and then it's Otis Lawrence in 3rd, Nicholas Longuet in 4th. Where is Jarno Opmeer? He's down to 15th, Matt Gallagher.
He's lost 1 position, he's coming under pressure into this left-hander as well. He just needs to keep it clean. Does Opmeer at this stage of the race? Down 1, as we say. Freddie Rasmussen, crucially, medium tyres going for the softer one compared to Ronhaar. He wants to dictate this pace and help his teammate Opmeer, but that's not the ideal start for Jarno.
It isn't at all. He is still vulnerable. There he is, Red Bull man further back in the pack. 1 Red Bull in the lead of the points, 1 Red Bull in the lead of the race.
Brendon Leigh right behind him. What's Brendon going to do to get involved in this one against Jarno?
He's on the medium tyre, he's on the attacking tyre, same as Jarno Opmeer. Brendon Leigh will want a swan song where we're talking about him. Opmeer gets up to 14th position. The main change out front, Freddie Rasmussen taking the lead in the opening metres of the race.
What a start from Leigh, up 3. Easily the biggest change out there. Benham and Caraton are fighting for P10. Opmeer back to where he started. I would say crucially, but he needs to go much further than that if he wants to take this championship. But Ronhaar, of course, not leading this one at the moment, but on the harder, more durable tyre. What do Red Bull have up their sleeve now that Rasmussen has the lead?
So Ronhaar yesterday talked to us about the run through the field when he was on the hard tyre, when he was worried about those around him, and then he stabilised that early stint. He then knew that he was in the box seat to compete later on. Everyone behind him's on the same compounded tyre, so he doesn't have to worry about the threat behind, but he does have to worry about Freddie Rasmussen checking out, controlling things, managing the pace. For Jarno Opmeer, it's just a case of be patient and use that race pace that we've seen all year long that's taken him to the brink of the title in this final event of the year. The back-to-back wins in Mexico City and Sao Paulo have taken Opmeer to the brink of the crown, but going out in Q2 has confused the picture. You can see Thomas Ronhaar getting closer in the kick, getting ever nearer to the back of the Red Bull, but not able to contend at the moment. 2 DRS zones around this racetrack.
I don't think we're going to see the same Opmeer strategy that we're so used to of him going long. I feel like this is going to be, in my opinion, a Red Bull strategy where Opmeer goes early, pits, tries to utilise the undercut to just gain track position, get into those points-paying positions, and then fight for your life to keep the drivers behind, because this is definitely going to be a two-phase race. We've got a split between the mediums and the hards. More of the drivers are out on the hards. I'd say roughly 1/3 to 2/3 there. So going to be interesting to see how this one unfolds. Opmeer on the less preferential strategy when you look at the amount of drivers on the hards.
Yeah, they gave him the tyre to be quick off the line with, just like they did with his teammate. Freddie Rasmussen already has the most wins in F1 sim racing history, and he's looking to extend the all-time record to 17 today by taking the win. And if he does so, Thomas Ronhaar cannot win the title, but Thomas Ronhaar's taking the lead. He's getting to the apex first, and that stint on the medium tyre was effective in the opening laps, but Ronhaar back in position to win the title.
Not surprised at all. I think Ronhaar just wants to lead from the front, not allow for any games to happen. With the likes of Red Bull, of course, and utilising Freddie Rasmussen to the absolute limits. And Rasmussen is a fantastic driver. He knows how to win races. But Ronhaar, with the use of DRS, deciding, look, my best chance is to just lead from the front. There's no drivers that can slow down or whatever it might be. And Thomas looking very strong at the moment.
Jarno Opmeer is 0.3 of a second away from Joni Tormala in the Alpine. And then it's Danny Beresnay, Alvaro Caraton, Jake Benham, Fab Donoso, and then one of the drivers he's trying to beat to the crown, Ismail Fassi, is the next one in 8th. Ronhaar with the fastest lap of the race as he begins lap 4. This is a circuit where overtaking can be tricky when you find yourself in the train. It's going to come down to a crucial call on the strategy. But as Matt was describing for you a few moments ago, Ronhaar trying to lead from the front. Freddie Rasmussen not interested in letting that happen. He closed in with under 0.2 of a second. Ronhaar responded in the braking zone, but it's DRS at 2 parts of the racetrack, and here comes the Red Bull driver from the slipstream to retake the lead.
Watch Lawrence as well. Lawrence has got past Ronhaar. That's a 2-move. Ronhaar down to 3rd there as Lawrence up to 2nd, and it was very much Ronhaar stricken with the fact he didn't have the DRS, and Ronhaar down to 3rd now on the hard tyres. He'll need to bounce back quickly.
He will indeed. He has been so quick over 1 lap. Everyone aware that he was going to be a problem, but that was not part of the plan. And Thomas Ronhaar down to 3rd. Jarno Opmeer in 14th as it stands. He would be absolutely fine. If Ronhaar or Fassi don't win the race, then Opmeer cannot be caught. It's as simple as that. Talking of Fassi, we're on board with a Spanish driver who has markedly improved in his 2nd season. His first was impressive. It had a couple of podiums as he got used to life in the championship. The 2nd has been mighty impressive. He was our opening winner of the year. He has been consistent throughout, and he came into the final race of the season with a mathematical chance to win it. He needs the 2nd stint of his life, though, after the stop that he will make later on. 1-stop races here, if you are just joining us for the finale. Ronhaar up against Otis Lawrence. Otis Lawrence, youngest ever winner in the championship. just 16 years of age. And here come the pack once again. Freddie Rasmussen ahead of Otis Lawrence. Otis Lawrence trying to win his second race in the championship today. Having triumphed in Jeddah earlier in the year, he won a thrilling drag race to the line by 0.03 of a second that day, denying Jarno Opmeer, who, if not for that moment, would have checked out, would have added 7 points and would already be champion.
I think you're going to be sweating if you're an Opmeer fan, because he's made no progress whatsoever from the start of this one. Starting on the faster medium tyre, they were hoping perhaps for a couple of positions gained in these early phases, but he hasn't been able to do it. The struggles are clear for Jarno around this circuit. He's just not been right at the front in terms of pace. Freddie Rasmussen, crucially for him, has. And it may well come down to who wins this one as to who becomes champion.
So there's a duel out front, but this is how the start changed hands on lap number 1, Matt.
Yeah, brilliant start from Rasmussen. He knew exactly what he needed to do with those medium tyres. Better purchase off the line. Rasmussen immediately through and ahead of Ronhaar. And then a little bit further back down the field, as I mentioned, Brendon Leigh gained 3 positions at the start. A brilliant opening lap for the driver, the double champ that we're saying goodbye to after today. We're back to live pictures now, and this could be pretty close with the DRS. 2/10 is Ronhaar behind, and Lawrence is shaping for the move because he knows he has to pass, otherwise Ronhaar will have an opportunity.
Our third race leader of the day so far, a man who doesn't have a say in either camp when it comes to the title. Otis Lawrence just wants to win, he's on the hard tyre, and he wants to finish the season on a high. Freddie Rasmussen wants that place back. Crucially, side by side into turn 9, no need to take any risks. All the way around the outside, always love seeing that. And the man back in front is Freddie Rasmussen.
Ronhaar's going to want to get involved in this, potentially sit in P2, because Rasmussen and Lawrence not working together as such, but of course if they're sharing DRS and sharing positions, Ronhaar can't really get a look in. So he needs to put that Sauber into one of the top 2 positions if he wants a chance to win this one. Third place, as we've seen so many times in this F1 Sim Racing World Championship, yeah, sometimes just stuck there. The top 2 can just help each other be dragged along.
Yeah, so we had to save tires, so make sure that we can do that behind some other car.
I think that was save tyres from what I heard there. Slightly muffled. Freddie Rasmussen being told, yeah, OK, you can fight them, but also make sure you don't have to pit too early.
Yeah, on those mediums, Joni Tourmala continues to run ahead of Jarno Opmeer. Opmeer behind us, a picture of concentration. And we've had title deciders before, but this one's a strange one. It's very, very close between the top 3 and further back, getting moves with the second Aston Martin in the field. Fab Donoso under pressure from Ismail Fassi, 8th and 9th at the moment. They're both chasing Ozilderim. Did Otis Lawrence wait for the opportunity to make the move into turn number 9? It looked like he had a chance to shape for the move. Rasmussen defending. Rasmussen now beginning, potentially, to think tactically. He just wants to hang on to the lead, wants to win the race and extend the all-time record out front. Oh, that's laid on the brakes. So much of heavy braking compared to the fast stuff that's gone before. Ronhaar running very close to the back of Otis Lawrence.
He really did. Ronhaar showed a little bit of patience there into the hairpin down the first long straight, because there was an opportunity to make a move on Lawrence, but he decided against it because it was just a little bit too risky. He can't play it too cautious though. He's got Nicolas Longuet behind him, who's having a great end to his F1 Sim Racing campaign this year. Ronhaar actually under a lot of pressure from Longuet as we head into this next left-hander. He's even defending.
Oh, he's having to defend into turn number 5, and he's very nearly into the back of Otis Lawrence. He's down to 4th position. The man who is so good around here over 1 lap in race trim is falling back, and here comes Alfie Butcher. Opmeer fans will be rejoicing. Can the McLaren make it an even worse stint to the race for Thomas Ronhaar, who's having to give the room, and Ronhaar tumbles from the race lead to 5th.
I'm trying to see if there's any damage on his car, because it was very close to contact.
There
if
is!
not, there is. The end plate's gone.
The end plate's gone. They're squeezing it, and Ronhaar's championship ambitions might just be gone.
We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
On board with Thomas Ronhaar, who is into the back, potentially, of Otis Lawrence. And the Dutchman's chances would surely suggest, from the damage that we've seen across the course of the season, that in a field so tightly packed together is going to cause tyre wear. Well, I don't know, we'll see. He's running at the moment, but there appears to be damage to the front of one of the championship contenders' cars.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on his pace, Ron Hart, because visually from that angle it looked like he'd lost his end plate. But if he keeps up his pace, then who knows? But let's just keep an eye.
He's lost it. And the task that was tricky got even harder. The championship momentum swings again. Away from Jarno Opmeer and pole position for this man before. Now he has to do something truly impressive.
Yeah, he doesn't have the pace. He doesn't have the pace. This is Ron Hart's championship potentially over now, because he won't really be able to change his front wing unless he wants to be at the back of the field come the pit stops.
Yeah, that would take an enormously long time. Then he'd have to come back on everyone. There's no clean way to do that in the time allowed. We saw that yesterday. He was penalised 3 times yesterday for moves. 2 of those penalties were rescinded, but 1 stood. It meant that he had a huge amount to do. But contact in the early stage of the race, in a season where that early stage of the race has been a holding pattern, shuffled backwards, and a moment of pressure tells he's running in 4th at the moment, but does he have any ability to move forward? He must win to take the title, but he has a damaged front wing.
I can't see a way back for Ron Hart here as Brendon Leigh. Brendon Leigh fighting Manley, losing the position there to Manley, I believe. Down to 17th is Brendon Leigh. Now he's got Lucas Blakely going around the outside of him as well. It's all going from bad to worse for Kick Sauber, and that is a very early pit stop from Brendon Leigh. I wonder, Alex Jakes, if he's coming into the pits earlier than anybody else to try and lead this one.
Brendon Leigh has gone for an outrageous early stop, and he'll get the tyre advantage now. So Brendon Leigh goes super early. His teammate has a damaged front wing. Jarno Opmeer not threatening the points at the moment. He might not need to threaten the points at the moment. Freddie Rasmussen, the best teammate so far that you could hope for. He's not the race leader though. Otis Lawrence back in 1st place.
Ismail Fassi is shaping a move on Ulash. Of course, he is still a championship contender, albeit
and we go on board.
Very close indeed. Fassi doesn't get through this time, but they have a great opportunity here, Alex.
He really will. Fassi needs something remarkable. We change view, that's exactly what he's seeing all the way through. Next driver up the road is Barry Burramond. Can the Williams man be the contender to come through? He was our opening winner of the year. If he's our final winner of the year, he's still got a chance to take the title.
Right, if the Williams strategy team are listening, I mean, they're not far away from us, roll the dice. He has to lead this one, even if he's got older tyres. You've got to give him an opportunity to win. Opmeer is out of the points at the moment. He's not showing any pace. He's still 14th. The door is wide open. Ron Hart has lost the front wing end plate. Still there, it has to be said. He's still staying in this DRS gaggle of cars.
So Nicholas Longuet now in 2nd place. Freddie Rasmussen down to 3rd.
I see 20. He got through.
Fabdenoso getting past Ulas El-Zeldarim. They're battling. El-Zeldarim gets the inside line, forces his rival wide, and El-Zeldarim on that medium tyre. Medium tyre now beginning to fade. The one to be on at the start, but not after that. Ron Hart doing well to stay in the position that he's in, but he's got one hand tied behind his back at the moment. Contact at turn 5, potentially deciding his ability to fight for race victory. He's continuing with it, but losing an end plate when the standards are so close, when the standard is so high, could well have cost him. He's still staying there though. That is because the tyres are fading for Freddie Rasmussen and the medium runners.
Yes, we've said about Ron Hart's damage. I think it is going to be costing him time. However, the DRS, the slipstream, is still very much keeping him in this. It's just whether he can actually make an overtake. That's the difficult part here. Can he get close to the Longuets and Lawrences on the same strategy as him? That is the question that is yet to be answered. For me, I don't think he'll be able to. But Ron Hart is lightning quick round here, and the pace he's lost, maybe that's put him back in the pack in terms of overall speed. There's a lot more, well, one more pit stop, I think, Jake Benham coming in as well. How is Brendon Leigh going to filter in to this once we've had all of our pit stops?
So that's a look at the front of the car. That's a look at how Otis Lawrence moved up back to the lead. And that is how Nicolas Longuet improved to second position with a fine move at turn number 9. Longuet, brilliant drive yesterday, best driver yesterday, gave up what turned out to be the win to his teammate for the championship aspiration, laid on the brakes, diving to the inside. Ron Hart going super aggressive again.
Oh, Rasmussen not accelerating off the corner whatsoever there.
And there's another opportunity. This time Barry Burman's inching ahead. Where does Ron Hart place the car? Is there going to be room? Around the outside goes Alfie Butcher. And Alfie Butcher's got through. Ron Hart down to 5th.
Oh, just as you thought Ron Hart was going to gain a place because Rasmussen is struggling, Butcher comes through. Remember, he won last time out. He loves this place.
He's trying to go back-to-back. He's in a really strong vein of form around here. Jake Benham has gone ahead of Brendon Leigh.
Do you want to hear something, Alex? Brendon Leigh, 1.6 seconds quicker than Nicolas Longuet last time round.
Ridiculous. Great pace for the man who is waving goodbye. Our two-time champion, our inaugural champion in Abu Dhabi. That wagging finger got the party started. Ron Hart running off the road. He knows that it has gone away from him here. He knows that he is falling through the field. Barry Burman, the next car. That's so late on the brakes. That is from downtown. And it's going to mean 3 wide. Freddie Rasmussen on the left-hand side of your picture. In the middle, Thomas Ron Hart and Barry Burman trying to get past both of them. He's going to get the inside line. Ron Hart's title dreams falling through his fingers here. He gets past Freddie Rasmussen on fading medium tyres, but he needs to do something that we haven't seen all season long and take a damaged car past ones that are intact.
Rasmussen might try again. You know, here we go. It's still very close indeed. Then Ismail Fassi getting involved as well. Fassi trying to go all the way around the outside.
Hold the phone! Your new contender for the title! The opening winner of the year. He's got 4 cars to clear. Ismail Fassi. He's got a great balance on lap 13 of 29. He's just got past Ron Hart to be the closest challenger to Jarno Opmeer.
How are your nerves, Ismail Fassi? That's the question I want to ask, because he actually has a chance of winning this. Jarno Opmeer in all of that is up to 13th position, so still not in the points for Opmeer as more pit stops are coming in. Benham is now the leader of the chasing undercut pack. Where does Benham filter in after all of the pit stops? But yeah, Fassi, 3/10 behind Burman. Burman just about managing to get within DRS of Alfie Butcher. Now you can see the pit lane cam. Lots of drivers coming in. One of those being Jarno Opmeer, 19th on the road at the moment. Could Fassi do it out of nowhere?
Here's our man on the hard tyres. Jarno Opmeer, still the championship leader, will be having, at this moment in time, a genuinely terrible time behind the wheel because he's not had the pace around here. Just doesn't suit his style at all. It's a style that's taken him to the second most wins in championship history. Nicolas Longuet is the leader. Otis Lawrence trying to take it back. Alfie Butcher is our winner last year. And Fassi is up to 4th.
4th, Alex. Fassi's on a charge.
Ismail Fassi, this is coming to the boil. We've been talking about Ron Hart, so controversial yesterday. Fassi's just been trying to keep it consistent all the way through. He had 2 non-scores in the middle of the year. Since then, 2nd in Zandvoort, 6th in the USA, 7th in Mexico City, 4th in Sao Paulo, 3rd in Qatar. If he's first today, is a massive final couple of laps coming the way of Jarno Opmeer, who is plumb last at the moment, but having made his stop.
Different strategies playing out as Zilderman picking up a 3-second time penalty. Whether that will change anything. Pit lane, we have Thomas Ron Hart coming in. I'm not sure where he will filter out in all of this, but struggling for pace. Ron Hart, very, very unlikely now to win this one, as we might get a change for the lead. That was Longuet shaping, and he has.
So he gets by, as we see the Red Bull pair, line astern. Jarno Opmeer. He's got Freddie Rasmussen for company. 18th and 19th right now. They're going to have to work together.
That's the only good.
Go on, man.
I can't believe this, Alex. Of course, Freddie Rasmussen's just pit. Otmir's let him go.
Lawrence has got back in the lead, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Just
changing
covered
everywhere. Look at the state of this. What's going on now? That's a late move. Ronha on 2, I think that was.
Ronha having to go to the maximum degree of risk. He's got past Barry Burman. He's got past El Zilderim. It is side by side. We're nearly 5 wide. It is all on the line here. Barry Burman's ahead. Joni Tormola's trying to go around the outside. Joni Tormola gets the Alpine around the outside of El Zilderim, and then it's Jarno Opmeer and Freddie Rasmussen. The big question now, as Longuet and is that Fassi? Is that Fassi? Where's he gone? Go to the front of the field if we can, because we're watching Jarno Opmeer. We'll check in with him at the moment. Ismail Fassi is now up to second. Otis Lawrence has come in, and Nicolas Longuet leads. Ismail Fassi 1 place away from the position that he needs to win the title. Still has
so much going on. So much going on right now. So Opmeer's been let go by Freddie Rasmussen. Opmeer's ahead now, up to 16th, pushing on, but he has drivers ahead of him on fresh medium tyres. Barry Burman, I could hear him exclaiming behind me. I think he was not happy with certain moves that were going on out there. It was very chaotic. As we ride on board with Ismail Fassi, Alex Jakes, as you say, 1 position away from claiming, if it ends that way, an unlikely championship. Can Opmeer get back in the points? Can Fassi win with drivers behind him on different strategies? It is wide open.
It is completely wide open. Don't go anywhere. The title still alive on lap 16 of 29. Absolutely incredible that it is still an active championship at this stage. And Ismail Fassi, this is incredible.
I think Otis might come out ahead of this train now because of that chaos that happened. They lost a lot.
So Otis Lawrence going longer, not getting involved in the battles. Lucas Blakely has an in-game penalty of 3 seconds for corner cutting. Tom Manley has got up to 5th, past Alvaro Carreton.
I think it's worth saying at this point, Alex Jakes, that Jake Benham will actually technically lead this one once everybody's had their pit stops, because of the aggressive undercut strategy. Brendon Leigh is going to be 2nd with Otis Lawrence 3rd.
There's going to be scrapping going on because Benham's going to have old tyres, Lee's going to have old tyres. Ismail Fassi moves in to championship winning contention. He's still got to stop, but he's run long. And how about that driver's graphic? Can you believe what we're seeing? At the moment, no points for Ronha, no points for Opmeer, and plus 25 in the title for Fassi, but he's got to stop. He's got to come in, he's got to get new tyres. But on these tyres, it's been sensational.
How can you not love this series? It is absolutely undecided with 12 laps to go. Fassi will come out in a big old train of cars. He is going to have to do what Ronha did yesterday, but slightly cleaner. Fassi will be very quick.
Otis Lawrence in a brilliant position to win this race and make talk of the title academic. He's moved past Brendon Leigh. So is Alfie Butcher, though. Alfie Butcher moves past on the same lap. Brendon Leigh, who came in for the mega undercut, trying to get the race lead later on. Tom Manley coming through the field because Beresnay and Fab Donoso have come into the pit. Ismail Fassi leads.
They continue on, Alex. They're still going on their own little strategy. Fassi and Longuet, they're going to be quite far behind with only a handful of laps to go, but they're going to be so much quicker.
They are going to be massively quicker. They're going to have to come roaring through. Jarno Opmeer, by the way, moving to the brink of the points in 11th position at the moment. Nicolas Longuet back in the lead of the race. And it's given us something to talk about, hasn't it? So many moments, that graphic. Incredible if you consider that Fassi is 23 points behind Thomas Ronha, going past Josh Edu. His chances disappearing. You can see the predicted strategies ahead of this one on lap 18 of 29. Jarno Opmeer is 0.7 of a second away from 10th position. Any top 8 finish ices the title.
Oh, it's a late move.
It's Barry Burman. Barry Burman, who gets past Brendon Leigh. Brendon Leigh, formerly of Ferrari. And Brendon Leigh trying to hang on, enjoying some time at the front of the field. That is very tight stuff between Otis Lawrence and Alfie Butcher. Ismail Fassi is in the pit. He's come in along with Nicolas Longuet. And so, cycling through, we will finally get the stops. We're coming to the end of the year.
If you are not next to the DRS zone, you're going for the win, okay?
So the message on the radio that there are so many different drivers who believe they've got a chance. Otis Lawrence leads. He's up against Alfie Butcher. Jake Benham is in third. Thomas Ronhaar in fourth, but with a damaged front wing. Barry Burrament in fifth position. Brendon Leigh in his final start in F1 Sim Racing in sixth. And it's Josh Udo, Jarno Opmeer in that eighth position that gives him 4 points. And the 4 points that he needs
Butcher
to take the title, as we have Alfie Butcher into the lead again in a frenetic race. Jake Benham has gone up to third position. Ronhaar's trying to take it away from him. Benham, who went for the mega undercut earlier on. Ronhaar still being in contention here. Is amazing effort from him. And Ronhaar is able to move through into third. Damaged front wings usually spell the end of your race, but he is absolutely mighty around here. The third place man at the moment on lap 19 of 29. It's Jarno Opmeer, crucially, with that top 8 finish, that has done enough as it stands on lap 19 of 29. Butcher, the race leader, is fighting Lawrence and Ronhaar. Plenty in the mix. Benham and Leigh will drop down the order now on old tyres. We're into the final laps of an amazing season, and we still don't know who the champion's going to be.
Ronhaar still has a chance of winning this one, which I can't quite believe with the damage he's running. I think it just shows that how much of a favourite he was coming into this one. So Ronhaar third, still has a chance. Opmeer in eighth with Freddie Rasmussen as his rear gunner. So Rasmussen will just sit there and defend and goal hang as we now have more action. That's Brendon Leigh, Edu and Opmeer, 3 wide.
Might be wider than that. Cars absolutely everywhere. Jarno Opmeer moving up to 6th position. Jake Benham behind. It's Opmeer, then it's Rasmussen, then it's Brendon Leigh, Josh Udo, Joni Tormela, the top 10. But you've still got Longe to come roaring through. You've still got Fassi to come roaring through as well. There are still contenders to fight into the points here. Nicholas Longe is up to 11th place, but crucially, our points leader, Jarno Opmeer, has cycled through the field. He was in 14th position earlier on. He's now climbed to the 6th place that would take him to the title.
Can he stay there? I mean, that would be quite the turnaround for Opmeer. A lot of carnage out there, of course. Jarno has kept himself clean. 6th position, we were speaking about him being 19th not that long ago. Fassi is now up to 12th, Longe 11th. They're coming through thick and fast, are those two, on their fresh medium tyres. So you have to imagine they're going to come under a lot of pressure of the 2 Red Bulls. That will leave Jarno back in 8th. Still question marks, Alex. My brain can't handle it.
Alfie Butcher.
Just have to beat Jake, Barry. That's the main priority, okay?
How much here is for Jake?
Unknown.
Barry Burrament signing off with the podium as it stands. We're into the final stages of a season to remember. 7 different winners. We still don't know where the title's going, but Opmeer has had a really great stint on the hard tyre to work his way inside the top 8, which he needed to take the title. That is late on the brakes for Joni Tormela, but no way through for the moment. Continuing to look at the Red Bull driver, lead Red Bull driver with a great rear gunner in Freddie Rasmussen. Jarno Opmeer trying to go where no sim racer in the championship has gone before and become a 3-time world champion. Thomas Ronhaar has a 3-second penalty for rough driving. That is not an in-game penalty. That is a steward's real-time penalty in the race. And now Ismail Fassi needs the most grandstand of grandstand finishes to come roaring through. If that one stands, Ronhaar, there's nothing he can do. And a valiant effort in the championship will fall short for the 2nd year in a row.
That would explain the comms I was hearing behind me when everything was kicking off with Ronhaar, Burrament, etc. As we see a move there, Fassi gets ahead of Brendon Leigh, Longe and Fassi, 8th and 9th at the moment. 7 laps to go, Caraton out of this one in 20th. And we have, potential for Longe. Could still get through this. He just has to make a lot of overtakes.
Well, we could easily see it. He was the one being denied yesterday. Alfie Butcher leads from Otis Lawrence. Both will want the win for different reasons. Would only be Otis Lawrence's second in the championship. Jarno Opmeer just has to sit there. That's all he's got to do now. There's so many late moves being attempted into turn 6. We're running out of laps in the Sim Racing World Championship, and here comes our probable world champion. Trying to turn 6th place into 5th. Has no need to worry about it at the moment. Will have been told of all the connotations by his team. Ron Haar earlier on looked in a great position. Ever since the damage, you knew it was going to be difficult for him to go forward. And you're looking at Jarno Opmeer, just needs to stay there.
There's been an incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right
Ulash
now.
is out. I'm hearing a lot of
chat.
Glaming to my left-hand side.
So how has that gone down? Ulas Elzeldarim out of the race, Alvaro Caraton out of the race. Here's Ismail Fassi in 9th position. Enormous tyre offset.
Yeah, enormous tyre offset, but they're not making moves. They've been stuck there for a couple of laps now. Longe needs to get on with it, but it's Rasmussen he's trying to pass. No wonder they've taken a little while longer.
So crucially, can Longe force something? Longe trying to go the long way round, trying to turn it into a traction race. If you turn it into a traction race, should be fine, but he's been given a bit of a tow from his teammate there. This championship is going to be defined by how the Red Bull drivers work together, steaming through the middle and taking the place. Is Longe trying to take the place? Is Longe, and Ismail Fassi's trying to pick his way through as well. He will get past Freddie Rasmussen, surely under traction, the Williams man, and improve up to 7th position. Not at the moment. Yes, he will manage to get past Jarno Opmeer, who's down to 9th position.
No!
Contact between Ismail Fassi and Freddie Rasmussen. Up to 7th place goes Jarno Opmeer. Huge hit at turn number 9.
Oh, Fassi, I think he just tried to do something pretty spectacular around there. I'll have to see that one again. How he's managed to save the car and stay in 9th, I do not know. Did he pick up damage whilst that all happened? We'll have to check that as well. But Fassi, crucially losing time. Longe has cleared both the Red Bulls. Let's see this replay. It's quite far away, I'm not going to lie. Can't quite see that one from there. But I'm sure Marcel will analyse all of that once we're done with this one. But Fassi, that might well have been the small glimmer of hope fading away.
Well, he had to try something bold. He had the tyre offset, but he had nowhere to go, and he finds himself behind Opmeer, behind Rasmussen. Danny Beresne gets past Joni Turmula to improve to the points. Does Otis Lawrence have anything in the tank to try and push on at the end of the race? Alfie Butcher, Otis Lawrence, Barry Burman, Thomas Ronhart. And Thomas Ronhart super late on the brakes again. And he knows where the Ferrari's going to be. Tries to keep his car on the road. More wheel banging stuff once again. Currently in 4th position. Trying to turn it into 3rd. Jarno Opmeer has got where he needs to be. That crucial contact. And now Fassi, 1 lap later, gets by. He'll try and get past Jarno Opmeer, who will be crucially down to that 8th place, but 8th place is fine no matter what happens out front, and we are running out of laps. Still, the battling goes on, and still we see Jake Benham up against Thomas Ronhart. There's been so many moments. He's got a 3-second in-game, he's got a 3-second penalty from the stewards, not an in-game penalty, so Ronhart will tumble down the order as well. He is no longer a contender for this crown, and Jarno Opmeer and Ismail Fassi trading positions all the way through. Williams man is still behind. Still the kickstart from the Ferrari, banging wheels around this racetrack. Nicolas Longe up to P5.
I know we've been thinking a lot about the championship right now, but Alfie Butcher's leading this one with 4 to go. He won last year. He has a great chance of winning this year as well. We've got Longe coming through in 5th. Keep an eye out for him. He's still very quick out there. He needs to pass 3 more cars to get on the back of Alfie Butcher. But what a drive so far from the McLaren man, who has struggled. He's had 1 win this year, as Opmeer and Ronhart are now going side by side.
Well, Opmeer has no need to risk it side by side, but he may need to make the pass in order to just maintain the position. Ronhart and the tyre wear going all the time.
No!
So close between these two, but it's Opmeer with the place. And make that 2 hands on the championship trophy. Jarno Opmeer will be counting down the laps. He's on his way to become a 3-time champion. He's got past Thomas Ronhart.
No, Ronhart!
Contact between the 2 contenders for the title. It all ends ends in a brawl. Ron Hart into the side of Otmir, who is lucky not to be sent spinning to the barrier. And here comes Ismail Fassi, who gets by.
Desperate move from Ron Hart. That was Otmir. I can't let you go through, my friend. Not that they are friends, I don't think.
Not after that move.
That was too much from Ron Hart. A day late and $1 short. Yeah, I've rolled that one out there. But it was not good enough from Ron Hart. And he's down to 9th. He's struggling on the mediums. He's got no front wing end plate. It's game over for him.
Martin Brundle's on the phone. You owe him royalties. Yeah, 29 laps to go.
This has nothing to do with racing.
Otmir not happy with what he's seen. 29-lap race is the sentence I attempted before the team radio. Danny Beresnay up to 8th, Freddie Rasmussen down to 9th. It's been a classic title decider in Abu Dhabi. It's been breathless. We've had all different, look at this, chaos. Absolute chaos. Shanaka Clay, Thomas Ronhaar, Tom Manley. And Thomas Ronhaar has played a brilliant part in this championship, but it had gone. And Jarno Opmeer saying nothing to do with racing. Ronhaar, he will wait for another day. He will reflect on what he was able to put together this year. Fell short last year, and Ismail Fassi is still behind Jarno Opmeer. It's going to be the man who's won it 2 times before. Barry Burrament will climb to 2nd place. That's why he was given the win yesterday. Ismail Fassi will be in 3rd. And our runner-up from last year, with no points on the board, giving it everything in these last 2 races, will tumble down to 4th in an incredible, incredible final event of the year, which has provided so much action. But it is going to send the largest trophy, the man we're on board with. And Josh Edu has an in-game penalty. Alfie Butcher, Otis Lawrence. Do you have a final flourish for this most memorable of seasons?
Fassi's just cleared Otmir with that move. Otmir's coming back at him now. You can see it in the background. Into the hairpin we go. Fassi has the inside line, very close to the rear diffuser of the Ferrari there, but Fassi up to 6th. 2 laps to clear 5 cars and hope Otmir loses a couple.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Ismail Fassi, he will wonder what might have been if he could have cleared Freddie Rasmussen. Not to take the title, but just to try and come through the field, because he was so good earlier on that hard tyre, as was Longay, who's trying to put the pressure on Jake Benham, who pitted super early and has found something in this final race. The man who wants a full-time drive in every race next year, finding himself with 4th position at the moment.
The hard tyre's working really well for Benham. As you can see, we're looking at lap 8, I think, Jake pit. He pitted with Brendon Leigh, and Brendan's in 18th. So Benham's having a phenomenal drive. He's only had 1 poor one. The rest of the drives he's had for Mercedes this year have been excellent. So teams, I'm sure, will be taking a look at Jake Benham and saying, oh, do you fancy a full-time drive over with us? And I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. Fassi's now moving ahead of Longay. So Fassi now up to 5th on the same strategy. That's a little bit surprising. Longay falling away in these last couple of laps.
Fassi had the pace. Fassi had the pace. If he could have cleared the Red Bulls,
would be asking the question again.
To get by. That's going to be what defines this championship. Jarno Opmeer and Freddie Rasmussen working as the dream team we labelled it as before even race number 1. It's turned out to be true. It's going to deliver both titles for them unless something truly remarkable happens. We're on the penultimate lap of the race. We're about to welcome a 3-time sim racing world champion, but who will stand on the top step? Otis Lawrence has had dramatic moments on the last lap. Go for him, go against him. Alfie Butcher wants to go back-to-back around this circuit in Abu Dhabi. He was our winner 1 year ago. Otis Lawrence wants to take it away. We're heading on to the last lap of the race and the season. Will it be Butcher? Will it be Lawrence? Will it be Drama and Barry Burrament? Either way, Jarno Opmeer is 16 turns away from a 3rd World Championship.
Enjoy this one, final lap of the season, and Lawrence is all over the back of the McLaren. I know we're riding on board with Jarno Opmeer, but there's going to be a change potentially for the lead, maybe down this straight, perhaps the next one. Let's see how Otis Lawrence plays this.
Jarno Opmeer, we will see you for the championship moment in a few moments' time. Otis Lawrence versus Alfie Butcher for the win. And the Aston Martin takes the lead with 1 DRS left to go. And Butcher nearly loses the car. And that might be the win for the Welshman.
Oh, Alfie Butcher on the brakes. He would want to go back at him down this straight that we're seeing right now. Is Benham on the back of Burman there? We'll keep an eye on that. Fassi in P5. It's so close into the left-hander. Surely not Benham.
Benham doesn't have the tyres to go the long way round there. He tucks back in, Ismail Fassi. No expression on his face. What a campaign for him. He has been mighty. He's heading to P3 in the championship. Otis Lawrence made the move on the last lap. He's beaten Alfie Butcher to the flag for the 2nd time in sim racing. Otis Lawrence is roaring as the winner, but for the 3rd time in championship history, it's Jarno Opmeer. He is the sim racing world champion. Jarno Opmeer, a 3-time champion of the world. And he was made to sweat for it. He was out of the points for so long, but it's Opmeer, the champion for the 3rd time. He's out of the rig, he's above them all, and he is heading all the way to the largest trophy. It is the championship for Jarno Opmeer. He's taken it with 7th place. The man cheering is our winner, Otis Lawrence. But the largest trophy, the championship trophy, is heading home. It is 2020, 2021 and 2025 for Jarno Opmeer, the world champion.
And a fully deserving world champion as well. Jarno had to work for that one. Goodness gracious me. Made it so fun to watch. Jarno Opmeer, you are the champion.
The celebrations are going to continue. Jarno Opmeer, are you happy? You must be elated with that one. Congratulations, a 3-time world champion.
Yes, obviously very happy, especially after such a chaotic race, which was to be expected, I guess. But yeah, Fred helped me out so much. At some point we thought about swapping so he could go for the win. But yeah, we saw Fassi coming on very fresh mediums. We knew the mediums were not going to last long, so all we had to do was just, delay him a little bit for 3 or 4 laps, and that's what we did. It looked like he was getting a little bit desperate in the end, which obviously makes sense. He was fully going for it, still trying to win the title. But yeah, we did what we had to do. And yeah, obviously a massive shout out to Fred, because I think I owe him a world championship.
Did you think coming into this event, it has been an up and down season for you, coming into this event that you'd be able to pick up this championship and do it in such style as well? Where you qualified and how angry you were earlier?
I wasn't really angry. I was kind of expecting it. Going into this event, I knew it was quite unlikely I wasn't going to win the championship because I simply lacked qualifying pace. So my plan was to just practice really, really hard for the first 3 tracks and kind of just let Abu Dhabi come down to the chaos, which I knew was going to happen. So my goal was to win the championship before Abu Dhabi if I could do it, and just missed out. But yeah, in the end, I could count on the chaos in Abu Dhabi.
It's still all smiles, and you are a 3-time world champion. Lift your trophy again. Congratulations, Jarno Opmeer.
You are looking at the new champion for the 3rd time, the man who was made to sweat. Focused on the first 3 races of this event. He won 2 of them, the 5th place in Qatar, minimized the damage to Ronha, who was penalized, and then he did enough. Got inside the top 8 that he needed, and he's celebrating. He is the champion, Matt, and he is the worthy champion of a season to remember.
What a season. So much drama, so much controversy. Drivers coming to the fray, young talent rising to the top. Otis Lawrence winning that one. the noises he was making, it was like he just won the World Championship.
It has been some campaign for Jarno Opmeer, the new world champion. Who is your money on at this stage? Opmeer trying to upgrade third to second place. That's his aim. Can he do it under braking? This is so important, this second place tactically for the end of the contest. Will he have the opportunity? Race win on the line here. We're about to get some answers. Down into turn one. Change of lead attempted by Jarno Opmeer. Beresney trying to place the car to take advantage. Jarno Opmeer gets the lead. Here we go. On board with Ron Ha. Can he get there? No, the apex is blocked. Brilliant late braking from Opmeer, who might have judged that one to perfection. And Jarno Opmeer will take the win. We're heading to the penultimate lap of the race, and that penultimate lap of the race will be led by Jarno Opmeer. The huge slipstream that Jarno Opmeer's got could be 2 in 1. We stay on board with Opmeer, who goes from third to first in one corner. It's going to be so close. We're going on board with Ron Ha. He's not gone for the medium tyres. It's super close between Ron Ha and our championship contender Opmeer. And Opmeer gets ahead to take the lead.
Need to make a late braking move as there's action out in front as well.
Look at this. Jarno Opmeer, Freddie Rasmussen, 2 Red Bulls, 1 corner. The Bulls on the charge.
That was an orchestrated move by Red Bull.
The door swung open for Jarno Opmeer.
Now, not only is it the driver champion sitting across from me as well, they're all talking behind me. They've lost interest completely. It is the team's champions as well. Red Bull have won that one. Congratulations, guys. Can I get a cheer? No? That's not Red Bull's style. Here is Dan Harding. He is our manager at esports for Formula One, giving over the trophy. Now, congratulations, guys. Right, I'm going to move you to this side because I'm going to have a chat with Andre. Congratulations. How are you feeling? That must have been pretty nerve-wracking.
Just like last year, extremely stressful. It's a massive relief. What we have achieved this year, I think it's extraordinary. I think we nailed almost every race. Everything went well, even though we had some, difficulties. Obviously, with such a tight field, it's not possible to have everything going exactly our way. But this last race, I'm just so relieved. It's unbelievable. I'm going through it again for a second year in a row, so I'm still shaky a little bit. So.
Well, congratulations, of course. Freddie, let me just bring you in quickly as our final question. You played a great wingman out there. I know it wasn't exactly what you wanted. You wanted to be fighting for the championship as well. But Jarno thanked you for that, and it really did help win Red Bull this, as well as the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, I mean, after event 1, I had 1 job or 2 jobs to help out Jarno to win the championship and not lose too many points myself for the constructors. And I think I did it perfectly.
I think you fought incredibly hard out there in that last race. Was it always on your mind to make sure that you're looking after your teammate first?
In this race, not until the second stint, because I think I had a chance at the win, but then he came out ahead and Ron Ha lost his mind once again. And yeah, so I just protected him from Fassi.
A driver through and through, of course. I'm going to move you to this side and have one quick word again with Jarno. Not only the driver champion, 3-time champion, of course, but you are now also the team's champion as well. I mean, Freddie just saying there, he probably would have gone for the win, but I'm sure after all of that, he would have helped you out.
Yeah, initially the plan was for Fred to go for the win, but then chaos started erupting and Ismail was coming through really fast. So at that point I was a little bit insecure about if Ismail was going to come through really fast. There were a lot of people on really fresh mediums. As I said before, mediums were quite a bad tire, but they had really good pace for the first 5 laps. So once they had track position, it would have been tough to get it back. And that was what I was worried about. So yeah, that's when we decided not to do it. And Fred helped me out so much with keeping Longue behind for a few laps longer, Ismail behind for a few laps longer. That's all we just needed. So yeah, as I said before, I owe Fred the World Championship.
Okay, good to know. Well, there you go, guys, with your first year as well with Red Bull. Congratulations, you guys are the team's champion. Please lift the trophy.
It is Red Bull who have done it. They have claimed the team's championship away from Ferrari. And they celebrate having provided the fireworks on track. Careful about not stepping on the fireworks off track. It's Jarno Opmeer and Red Bull, champions of the world.
Well, we said that that would be a finale to remember, and that is exactly what was delivered. Jarno Opmeer, our champion, and Red Bull, our constructors' champions. But my goodness, it was not simple. It was not easy. We really didn't know where it was going. There was a moment we thought that Fassi was back in the mix for the champion. Oh, my goodness.
Well, he had a great strategy and great speed. He wasn't going to take the title away from Jarno Opmeer, who worked brilliantly with Freddie Rasmussen. But he had an ability to get in the podium mix at least. Thomas Ronhaar at the start looked so good. As soon as he got the damage, he knew the title dream was over for him. But realistically, with a 21-point gap, going to spin my iPad around there, with a 21-point gap, you were never going to see a driver of Jarno Opmeer's class throw it away. But my word, did his qualifying make it super, super difficult for him. Great team effort, great all-round performance, worthy champion.
Absolutely. Matt, how are you feeling after that? Because that was quite the roller coaster to commentate on.
It was, and I'm grateful for it, because with a 21-point lead, you kind of think, oh, is it actually going to be that close? And it was. Opmeer did a phenomenal job to recover once again. You know, whenever he has a bad qualifying, you can never count him out. He's always going to move forward. And to finish 7th on the road in the end, when we were questioning whether he was going to get anywhere near the points, was a brilliant drive. Then we believed that Fassi, as we mentioned, was going to come through. It seems like on reflection, the medium-hard strategy was actually a little bit better. You had Benham up in 4th, who made a miraculous strategy work. But yeah, there were plenty of times when we thought Ronhaar, Fassi and Opmeer would win the championship.
Shall we have a look at these standings now that we have crowned our champions? Go on, guys, this one will be good.
Oh, look at that.
Jarno Opmeer is a 3-time world champion. He takes the title with 154 points. Ismail Fassi beating Barry Burman by 1 point. Fassi absolutely superb to move up last year. 8th in the standings to 2nd this. Barry Burman will rue those 3 Q1 exits that caused non-scores. Without that, he could have been a contender as well. And Thomas Ronhaar dropping down to 4th place. 2 non-scores in the final event of the season, taking away his chance to be a maiden champion. And in the constructors' map,
Red Bull, quite clear in the end. We thought Mercedes would have almost one hand on the trophy halfway through this season, but it was Red Bull that just mounted a charge in this final event. Ferrari end up in P2, just ahead of Mercedes. Strong, strong event and championship for Williams as well. A lot to learn there, and Fassi will be very proud of his performance. Kick end up in 5th, where Ronhaar, of course, will hope to maybe have a teammate that will be scoring a few more points from seasons in the future. Then it's Aston Martin, McLaren, Racing Bulls, Alpine and Haas. 3 points does not tell the story from the Haas team.
No.
It absolutely does not. My goodness, finally we have those standings locked in. We have our champions crowned. And I think we are now going to get to talk to our winner of that race. I mean, I know that with all of the champions being crowned, it was hard to forget, but we could hear Mr. Otis Lawrence very loudly celebrating, and Claire is with our winner now.
I mean, when can't you hear Otis Lawrence if he's winning? Or to be fair, not doing so well either. But let's not talk about that. Otis, congratulations. What a fight out there. I know we were watching the championship battle, but trust me, we were watching that at the front too. And Alfie just at the end, losing it slightly. Did you breathe a sigh of relief when that happened?
To be honest, I can't really remember, to be honest, anymore. I've lost my voice absolutely screaming my lungs out. So, you know, it's brilliant to get the win here, end the season in such a good way. You know, next season is going to be the focus now. I'm going to try and win the championship now. I feel very confident. I've got 2 race wins in my rookie season. So, yeah, just absolutely buzzing and, yeah, nothing else to say.
Would you have ever expected your rookie season to have played out like this? I mean, like you say, 2 wins, and now you're talking about winning a world championship.
I kind of did, to be honest. You know, I knew I was going to do good, but not this good, to be honest. There's a few
ups and downs during the season, but as a team, as Aston Martin, they've done such a great job this season. All of them done such a fantastic job. I couldn't thank them all enough. So, they've all brought this moment to me. They've all helped me to get to this moment. Duncan Fab, fantastic. Thijs Axel, Miguel as well, also insane. Nothing else to say. I'm probably rambling on, but I'm just so happy.
I can always make people talk more, don't you worry about that. Let's have a listen though, because we want to hear your reaction on the radio.
Come on, guys! Let's go! Come on! Let's go!
I thought you were going to burst into song at the end there. I mean, you were very, very excited. We heard you across the entire arena. I mean, just talk us through those emotions as you crossed the line.
Oh, there's nothing better feeling when you work so hard for a win. You can tell my voice is gone, but it's just nothing better feeling. I'm full of adrenaline. I literally don't know what to say. I'm probably not speaking English right now, but yeah, just buzzing.
Definitely speaking English. I would tell you if we're speaking a different language. So looking into next season then, is that a thought in your mind at the moment, or are you just kind of focusing and taking in this moment?
Obviously, I've got to forget it now and focus for next season, but I'm going to take a good break from the game, chill out, and we'll come back next season.
Okay, are we uninstalling it as well, or are you just going to just put it on pause for a bit?
I prefer not to speak.
I'm joking. We do not do that. We don't do that, guys. Back to you. Congratulations.
Oh, a huge congratulations to Otis. You could see how much it meant to him in that reaction. I think now we should have a look at how the race results played out. Another graphic.
Love a graphic. Otis Lawrence, two-time winner in his rookie season, in the end beating Alfie Butcher by half a second with a pass for the lead on the last lap. Barry Burman completing the podium, then it's Jake Benham and our second-place finisher, thanks to fifth position for Ismail Fassi. Nicholas Longay was in sixth, then it was Jan Otmir seventh, and the World Championship for him. Danny Bresnay in eighth. Our points finishers rounded out by Freddie Rasmussen and Tom Manley, who also got the fastest lap for Racing Bulls. Yoni Tormala, Lucas Blakely, Fab Donoso, Tamas Gao, Josh Edu, Thomas Ronhaar, a contender for so much of the year, falling to 16th in the final classification. Then Shanaka Clay, Brendon Leigh, Alvaro Caraton, and our other retirement, Ulas Elzodarim.
Thank you very much for that. Now, I believe we can see a little highlight from a driver who is unfortunately bidding us farewell after this race. But of course, Brendon did it in style, guys.
Yes. We love the donuts.
I'm sure he loved that, right?
So he was actually allowed to do that from what I've been told as well, which is nice. He's not going to get in trouble for doing that, as long as he didn't mess with anybody else's race, which he didn't. Nice little donuts from Brendon Leigh. He's going to be sorely missed. And what a fierce competitor we've seen over the years.
Oh, gosh. That must have been a very bittersweet moment, right?
You dedicated so much of your life to a cause, and it comes to an end. How could it be anything other? He's been a credit to the championship, a two-time champion, and until that checkered flag waved, he was joint most successful in the championship order. Jarno Opmer stepping clear. But no, Sim Racing will not forget Brendon Leigh. He has been a star.
He has indeed. Now we're going to head over to one of our stars. Marcel, take it away.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. For final time this year, we have a couple of race highlights. Final race of Brendon Leigh, so we had to owe him a highlight as well, which is his amazing race start to start this race from P19. I think he climbed 3 positions or 2 positions, already moving up 1 place there. He was obviously on the mediums, positioning himself well. Then I believe he got pushed off the track. He could have gained even more places. Got an illegal overtake on Tom Manley in P16, which he had to return in the next corner around the outside. Tom Manley went ahead, then he could push again. And there was just a Brendon Leigh masterclass for a final time before we have to say goodbye to him. Then we have one of the highlights, which is in lap 8, Thomas Ronhaar getting damage from trying to defend from Nicolas Longue. Nicolas actually learned from yesterday and said, no, I didn't close the door, so you know what? You didn't close it, I will go for the inside this time. But because Ronhaar did not think far enough, I mean, it is lap 8. He can always bounce back. But it was for him like everything on the line, championship over. If he doesn't stay in that position, he sends it into the rear of Otis Lawrence and loses front right end plate of the wing, which was, in my opinion, just a rookie mistake. It shouldn't happen. Of course, there's pressure, but this just simply can't happen on this stage when you actually have a shot at fighting for the title, when Ottmar is in such a big disadvantage. Then he sends it again on Freddy, uses him to slow down. Freddy gets back ahead, delays a little bit to get going, but everything fine from his telemetry. You can see it here as well from Rasmussen's POV. It's not very nice fighting from Ronha. Unfortunately, I think in Qatar, every now and then it was okay, aside from the move where he actually pushed in the hairpin people wide, or also in the fast left-hander on Nicolas Longe. But in this race, unfortunately, he did these things again, and it got even worse, which I was not a big fan of. Then we have a move from Bari, full send on Rasmussen, also again to defend. I don't know what this is. I like the guy. He gets a lot of unjust hate, but these moves, they are just not on. It's just not good. You can see it also from his onboard, braking way too late. Again, just driving into Rasmussen. I don't know what to say. I prefer not to speak. Quote by Otis Lawrence. Then a double overtake from Fassi. I think even triple. Is it triple? No. But it's a nice double overtake. I was actually thinking maybe he has a shot at the title, but in the end it slowed down a bit more. There was also another incident where he crashed into Frederick Rasmussen later on. We will also have a look at that. Another quite desperate move from Thomas. Going 3 wide, but he makes it stick. Not sure if this is not getting penalized or not. Is this continuing further on? I don't think so. Yeah, Freddy just lets Jarno go. Then this is the onboard from Ronha. It looks a bit like bumper cars. It wasn't the greatest way to say goodbye to his title fight this year. Fassi's crash. This is the one where he actually collided with Rasmussen, I think, in the next corner. Into 6 and 7, still nice and clean with Jarno side by side. There's a little contact with Jarno, but nothing serious. Jarno lets him through. And now in the next corner, this was kind of race deciding for Fassi. Jarno did everything he needed to do, but I don't know what happened there. I think that is actually fully Fassi's fault, or I don't know. Did Freddy open up his steering wheel? Fassi tried to slow down with the lock on the steering wheel. It's very hard to judge. Way too fast for me to actually make a decision here. Kind of more looked like a race incident, but it was not good for him. Fassi battle also again with the Red Bull drivers. Sending it down the inside, bit of contact there. Probably can still argue that this is clean with the way they were all racing each other this year. Continues into the next corner where Freddy is trying to climb back because it was also a bit rough from him. Gets the move done. And then we have this crazy dive bomb from Thomas on Jarno, which I did not understand why this was necessary. His other end plate is also saying goodbye, I see you next year maybe. And he just pushes Jarno off completely. I understand why Jarno cut the corner to get back ahead of him. I would do the exact same, as this was just not a good move. And I think we also have the onboard here from... I mean, come on. I don't know. It's just too much. It's way too much. In lap 26, we also have Ronha being passed by pretty much everyone. And there's another share of contact. Here he's clipping the rear end of Blakely, gets stuck with 2 other cars. And then we have one more, and that is the slide from Alfie Butcher, where actually I thought, oh my god, Bari is actually going to crash out or break his wing. Eventful final race of the year. We have a champion. Congrats, Jarno Ottmar, and I will send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you very much indeed. Now, as we have already mentioned, today we are saying goodbye to a huge personality within F1 esports. Has anyone seen Mr. Brendon Leigh? Come here, get yourself
Brendon
over
Leigh,
here.
come on.
Come on. Come and join us.
Yes,
I don't have a microphone.
That's
You don't
okay.
have a microphone?
We will get you a microphone.
There it is.
Brendan.
Brendan needs a microphone.
Of course he does. Brendan, your last race in F1 Sim Racing done and dusted. How are you feeling?
I feel all right, to be honest. Good few years, good few free lunches, and crack on, you know.
The lunch again.
We have something that we want to show you. Just turn to the screen, a little something from our team.
Interest in Formula One esports came on the 21st of August 2017 when they launched the series on Twitter. I actually saw it, and ever since then I was invested. Ever since then I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Here comes Brendon Leigh. Denoso covers the inside line. We're on the final lap. It's the battle for the lead. And Leigh sells the dummy, and he just gets through up the inside. And Denoso has to cut the corner, and he's been given a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. And that surely is going to hand Brendon Leigh the championship, the first ever F1 esports champion.
It's Brendon Leigh!
You should be happy because today you were amazing.
A win in race 1 and a win in race 2 for the reigning champion Brendon Leigh, a 2-time champion with victory in the USA, undefeated in the F1 Esports Pro Series.
The Drivers' Champion of 2018 is Brendon Leigh! What does it feel 2 years in a row, sir?
It feels sensational, you know. First year was special, this is sensational.
Oh, well, listen, you nailed it right there. Listen, Brendon, congratulations. Brendon Leigh.
I have a few things I love doing in life, and driving is one of those.
Obviously, the plan is to finish first in all the 3 races remaining of the season. Also, the plan is to get 1-2s in every season.
Brendon Leigh, Aramco Driver of the Day.
Hey everyone, we're Ferrari. Welcome to the Teammate Challenge. Hell yeah, let's go.
Here comes the old warrior, fighting his way again, risking everything.
My career, no. I'll leave it to the stewards, it's their job. My job is to go eat some cake.
Brendon Leigh, high spirits as you can see there, feeling good.
Any tricks I should know in reverse? Just crash.
The former 2-time world champion, Brendon Leigh!
I'm putting in my contract for next year. I get the walking stick and the chair to go to my rig, seeing as you're calling me the old boy.
If you want to go faster, eat more pasta. That is a classic quote from Brendon Leigh. The first ever Formula One esports champion, it's Brendon Leigh!
A huge well done and a huge round of applause.
What I mean, that's brilliant.
Brendon Leigh, everybody!
Come on, everybody!
Make some noise!
Brendon, what a journey you've had in F1 sim racing. We just put together some of your best bits. Well, what are some of your highlights as you look back? What are some of your highlights of your time within the sport?
I think... I think that's my new highlight. I think I need to go get those glasses because they suit me. I think my biggest highlight, to be honest, is the growth through 2018. I actually had a lot of self-doubt going into that year because I won the first year in 2017, but I never knew if I could recreate it. Then going into 2018, won the first, won the second race, and that was really a switch in my mind that gave me the confidence to go on. In fact, I even say honestly, Bresnay was faster than me in the practice before the season started. Then event 1 gave me the confidence to elevate myself.
I mean, just look around this room. So many people just applauding you as we watch those highlights. So many people invested in your journey. Double champion as well. You've contributed so much to the sport. How does it feel to be hanging up the racing gloves and saying goodbye?
Satisfying, you know, because it's something I always dreamed of is the ability to do it on my own terms, and I think that's really important. Anything in life that you can leave it when it's right for you, and not to have a regret and not to feel like it left you. And I feel really lucky that I'm able to transition to a new role, a new job. I have a new passion, and that goes straight away. Even on Monday, I can be excited for my new role within content, and that's why it's satisfying. I don't have a question in my mind. I don't have something in my mind that is like, am I doing the right thing? I'm very, very happy, you know?
Now, I've known you since 2017, since the very first time back in Abu Dhabi when you won, and I've seen the growth of you as a human being. It's amazing to see how much of a man you've become, right, in so many different ways. How proud are you of the things you've achieved, the people you've met, everything you've learned over those, 7, 8 years? It's been a long time.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm more proud of the mistakes I made, actually, because I made more mistakes than I did things right. And without those mistakes, I simply wouldn't be able to stand with my head higher. You know, in 2018, as you know, I was a bit more shy and I was a bit, to be honest, less of a good person even then. I was a bit more ruthless, what you have to be a champion. But now, through the mistakes I've made and the lessons I've learned, I would say I'm a better human than I was back then. And I'm able to carry that forward in life.
A better human. I mean, you can't ask for more than that,
No,
can you?
You can't indeed. You got to represent some wonderful teams as well. Surely representing Ferrari, something that in years to come, you'll look back, and Mercedes as well, and your current team, they've all been special. Yeah. Tell us why.
Well, Mercedes was special because it was my first contract. I remember it was the end of June in a pub opposite the house, actually. We signed the contract. And that was able to elevate me to do it full time, of course. Then Mercedes, I was able to share 3 wonderful years, growth, and I met some wonderful people that taught me life lessons. I always say it's like a sponge, you know, that you come across people when you're so young that have so much wisdom in life, and I was lucky to absorb some of their knowledge. Then going to Ferrari, wow, that's a special moment that I think even when I was doing it, I appreciated. But now even looking back and seeing, I kept one shirt from every year that I do. And I plan when I'm 80 to have it like all my things like hung up on the wall. And in Ferrari, I was looking at it the other day. Just seeing the badge, and I'm like, wow, I got to represent Ferrari and to be part of that process, part of that journey, and even more to be trusted on their broadcast and to be trusted on their comms and to be trusted in that sense means the world to me. And here with Sauber as well, it was a new start, a new journey, and it was able to give me the platform and the people who work behind the scenes with RH Esports as well to basically give me the confidence to be who I want to be. And that's what means a lot to me in the 3 different ways.
And never change, Brendon Leigh. Never change.
Never change. I do like free lunch.
Brendon, thank you so much for all that you've contributed to F1 Sim Racing over your time. Thank you for all the laughs, all the commentary on your free lunches and dinners. We have loved it all, and we look forward to you coming after each and every one of our jobs in the future.
I won't. I asked for too much food.
Can we get one last finger wag?
No, I've been asked.
Brendon.
Yeah,
Come on, Brendon.
No.
Brendon, play the greatest hit. Give the people what they want, Brendon Leigh.
So I have a stat that for every year I did the finger wag, I won the championship.
Oh.
And Jarno won the championship, so I think he can do it.
Okay. We'll let you go with that one. Thank you so much, Brendon.
Thank you
we
so
wish
much.
you all the best of luck in the future.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining us. Wow, that's a big personality, a big presence, a big character leaving F1 Sim Racing.
No finger wag, though.
No, and we really tried to get that, didn't we?
Yeah.
All of us tried.
We did.
One of the OGs.
One of the OGs.
Competing on that roof in Abu Dhabi to start things off. That championship that's gone to strength, and he's played a large part in it.
He has indeed. Well, that brings us to the end of our final show and the end of this season. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex, Matt, Claire, Marcel, thank you for helping us through this final event. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes who has made this happen as well. And of course, thank you to Tom Deacon, who has led us through the previous events. We miss you dearly. Thank you to all of our drivers who put so much commitment and determination into their racing careers. And thank all of you at home for tuning in. We hope that you have enjoyed it. Jarno Opmeer is your Drivers' Champion and Red Bull are your Constructors' Champion. That is a wrap on the 2025 F1 Sim Racing World Championship.
Bye!